Jonesy, Group 1 racing at Doomben once again. It's not Eagle Farm, mate, but it'll do.
It'll do, Ben. Yeah, definitely. Doomben Cup. Bit of a crossroads race, we feel, for a certain, I'd say, polarising horse now.
Yeah, it's D-Day for him.
Yeah, it is D-Day for him.
Who are we talking about? You'll have to listen.
You'll have to wait and see. Let me tell you this. If you like to get weird and exotic, particularly with the good people at Ned's, the first 4 that we've handed out, both of us,
yes,
for the Doomben Cup, is worth having a spec at. So just listen. But yeah, obviously, if you're going to have a bet at Doomben or anywhere all over the country, who are you going to do it with, mate?
Mate, the good people at Ned's, because you can entertain the little first 4 or trifecta that you were talking about, but there's also the same race multi as well. So you could have this polarising horse in for first, and you could have, I don't know, one of the $15 pops or the $20 pops that we suggested into fourth maybe. You could turn a profit, that's for sure.
Value with a capital V. Now, we love the good people at Ned's. Thanks so much for their support, particularly over this winter carnival, mate, which we absolutely love. There's also the Ned's profiles, so if you want to follow us in on any of our bets this weekend, check out our profiles and you'll be able to copy our bets. Maybe you copy a quaddie, because we might dive into that this weekend.
Maybe. But what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Mr. Brightside spins them up and wins again. Zardozi wins the Oaks for J-Mac. The photo finish. Mr. Brightside or Romantic Warrior. The mare's going. Great guns. Fangirl. Look at her go. Fangirl. Imperatrice has got her. And raced on by Imperatrice by a length. Overpass. More Baker's Delight in Perth. Radina just won it, I'd say. Tom Kedden won the spring champion in a cakewalk. Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup.
Back to Brisbane, back to Doomben for Group 1 racing, mate. It's good to be here, the Doomben Cup.
Yeah, if it didn't exist, it wouldn't bother me.
Nah.
Pretty dross.
What, 5 or 6 weeks after the Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah, pretty dross.
Kind of shows, doesn't it, in the quality of this field?
Yeah, definitely. This is a Group 3 field.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
I'm not here. I'm not even going to. I'm not under any illusions. Like, Queenslander through and through. We're on the eve of State of Origin, and I couldn't be prouder to be a Queenslander this time of the year. I'm wearing a maroon hat, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But, there's no betting around the bush, mate. We're realists on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I feel like, there's no bias that exists on this podcast at all, ever.
Zero.
Not once.
I don't want to take any away from Queensland because I want to make the Q22 a Group 1. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And you know what? I think that, there's some lessons to be learnt by looking at this field.
Yeah.
It doesn't excite me whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
But, fucking who cares? Ultimately, who cares? If you're a racing enthusiast, it's the Winter Carnival up in Queensland. It's a great time to be alive. And there's plenty of other great races on the card.
Absolutely.
And Brisbane's doing Brisbane things and ending with a Group 3. Like, things you love to see, put that on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, life's good.
Life is good.
Life's good. And it's, what life is? It's for living, mate.
It is.
Life is for living.
It is. One thing I didn't really think about until after it happened last week, as a Dragons fan, how do you feel about your team being left out of Magic Round? Do you care?
Not really. Like, we had the bye last year as well for Magic Round, so I'm assuming that the Dragons had made a deal with the NRL. Either they financially get compensated for not being able to play at Magic Round, or maybe they get an extra home game or something like that. Yeah. Which I'd rather have that than play Magic Round.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to put it out there. Not a Magic Round guy.
Really?
3 games of rugby league in one day.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot of rugby league. It is the greatest game of all.
Yeah, thank God game 1 isn't at Suncorp, because that pitch needs some serious
R&R.
R&R.
It does. For me, if I'm sitting at the stadium and I've sat through a game of rugby league, that's plenty. I'm ready to go. There's plenty of rugby league.
Well, maybe you're just not their target audience, and that's fine.
What is their target audience?
Rugby
league fans?
Yeah. Rugby league fans, but and boys trips and bucks parties and that sort of stuff, I reckon.
Yeah. I just think it's a lot of rugby league to get through.
It is. I love watching rugby league.
So do I.
I love watching rugby league wherever.
Yeah.
More so than my number one sport, AFL, these days.
Yeah.
Because the product's better.
It is easier to watch, isn't it?
Gotcha. Like the Lions pissed in by 120 points last week, and I was flicking back between the two. I was like, and it's been slim pickings this year.
Yes.
It has.
It has been.
Anyway.
But so, yeah, that's my response. As a Dragons fan, do I care? No. Okay. Like it's an excuse not to go to Magic Round.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Got a bit of a fucking, chip on my shoulder today.
Yeah, you do, don't you? What about Counter? He had another trial during the week.
He actually trialled well.
Yeah, beaten 6 lengths this time instead of 7.
Over 1,000 metres. He's going to be resuming drifters either next Friday or the following Wednesday in the Sunshine State midweek grade. I think that's him.
Well, I think given this time of year, that'd be Saturday grade any other time of the Queensland calendar. So I think he's up to Saturday grade here.
I cannot wait for the day where we have 2 horses in one race.
Well, they could very well
feasible.
be.
That's very feasible.
Because they are 2 slow horses that need 2,000 metres.
Yeah. I can see both of them RMPing 1,850-metre races at Eagle Farm.
Yeah.
I can 100% see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that as well.
And luckily both their racing patterns are different. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. It's got a bit of a chip on my shoulder, because the field doesn't have me enthused, When you spend your entire character is built on we're better than South Australia at the very least, and given Victoria a run for their money recently, and this is what's served up. It's like you're going out for breakfast and you want a big breakfast, and it finally gets served, and the bacon's not cooked well. There's a bit of goop in your fried eggs. The avocado's a bit, not ripe enough, and it's a bit too hard.
It's not a Payne Haas avocado.
Yeah, it's not. And the bread's not fully toasted. Your flat white's a bit cold. And you're like, you know what? Like, I'm pissed off.
You may as well shit on a plate if you give me a lukewarm flat white. I've only had that once or twice, but yeah, God, I'm flat.
Yeah, why don't you shit on my plate and piss in my cup?
It's like, what is this?
Serve that up to me instead.
Make it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you drink this? Absolutely not.
If I wanted an iced coffee, I would have ordered mine, champion.
Yeah. So,
how long did you study at university to become a barista? Isn't a law degree 4 years?
All right. I'd be fascinated because I can't really remember anything that I say in great detail, especially from 12 months ago. But I wonder what we were talking, how we assessed last year's field. So Huerta won from New Marion. So those two are in this field this year. Kovalica. So the trifecta is there.
Yeah.
Kovalica is the 3-year-old, missed the run in the lead up.
Yeah.
Jewis 4th. Zayrek 5th. Diamil, Zaki, No Compromise, Banker's Choice, Palmetto, Nonconformist, A Tissue. A long last. I don't think she even finished.
How would we have assessed it?
Yeah.
I would have had Zaki on top after winning the Hollandale. Definitely.
Oh, but quality of field.
Oh, not great.
So No Compromise, Zaki, Jewis, Kovalica wasn't at that time, and Huerta had a Group 1. So 4 Group 1 winners in the field. This year you have, this is going all off the dome, Huerta, Kovalica, Vow and Declare, obviously.
Serpentine. You won a derby over in the UK.
Huyamal.
Not a Group 1 winner.
Group 1's, he ran second. And I reckon that's about it. Amakura. So similar quality, you'd almost say. So 2 Queensland Oaks winner in both years. Jewis is probably the more proven.
Yeah.
Easily at this stage. But Amakura is an up-and-comer.
Yeah, she was, first up after a long break over 1,500 metres from memory at Rose Hill on a pretty heavy deck. This is not a go.
No. And, I think she's a lightly raced mare. So, but I think your point's well founded because you look at that Hueta Numerian form, they kind of just go against each other, right? And one wins one week and the other wins the other.
Yeah, you can lump them all in together, those types, like those old European geldings. Yeah. Like, can I rely on Hueta to run to the form that he showed 2 starts back?
Yeah.
Can I rely on Numerian, especially single figures?
Well, let's get into the race because I don't think it's a vintage edition, but I think it's an interesting race. And I kind of alluded to you off mic about this, but I have some stats about Kovalica which I think are fascinating, which could be explaining his underperformance from, like, say, us two from these armchairs.
Yeah, armchair experts.
So these are the barriers that he's drawn in the last 12 months. Within the last 12 months. 11 of 12 in the Hollandale, 7 of 9 in the Queen Elizabeth, 10 of 19 in the Doncaster. That's okay.
Yeah.
18 of 18 in the George Ryder. 4 from 11 in the Liverpool City Cup, and he was beaten 2 lengths, and that was his first up run. So you go like, oh, Kovalica is back. 14 from 17 in the Golden Eagle. 14 from 14 in the King Charles. 7 of 18 in the Epsom, and he was beaten at Bees. So, and then when you go back to his Queensland Derby, where he was almost the good thing of the carnival, both the Doomben Carnival and the Eagle Farm Carnival, the Winter Carnival, he drew barrier 4 of 18. So, is he a horse that appreciates a better barrier? Maybe. That parlayed into he's been one of the most mismanaged horses in Australia. Doesn't help.
No, that's fascinating.
Draws barrier 3 this weekend.
Draws gate 3. This is the crossroads race for Kovalica.
He has to win this.
He has to win it.
Has to
win it. He ran well enough in the Hollandale on a bottomless track. The deck's drying out for this weekend. He draws a gate, like you said. He's got hot Nash on. He's going against, like you said, these geldings who just take turns in deciding who wins, who, let's be honest, aren't Group 1 quality with no disrespect at all.
No.
Because they're, Numerian's won 3.1 milli. Hueta's won nearly 2 milli. He's won 2 Group 1s. But, Cox Plate runs tomorrow and these two are in it. They're 50-1.
Yes.
Whereas I think Kovalica, this, if he was in the Cox Plate this year, if he was managed correctly, he's not 50-1.
He's 15-1.
Yeah. Do I like the odds enough to bet on him? No way. He's having none of mine on the weekend. But he's the one that I think will win. Kovalica. Yeah. What is he, $3?
I can't even see. Can't even see the odds with the good people at Neds. Might have to get them up. It's not flowing through on RaceNet, so let me get Neds up real quick.
It's not coming through on RaceNet for anyone.
$3.50.
Okay. I can see him starting shorter than that.
So $3.50 for him, $5.50 for Detonator Jack. That is poison.
That is poison because you know where he's going to be.
That's a JMac tax if I've ever seen one.
Is this his first go at 2000?
I don't think
Detonator?
so. I don't think so. I reckon
yet to race at 2,000 metres.
Yeah, but he's won over 2,100, so he's raced out.
Gotcha. There's nothing interesting about my take for this race. This is the one where if you're the punter who's been on Kovalica every start, since his derby, apart from the Epsom, like you've been very ill placed in your bet. But this is the one. Like this is the one that you bet on him. Like it's a no-brainer for me. $3.50 actually isn't too bad. Like all things considered, if you got out to 4s, you're thinking, yeah, it's juicy. Sub 3s is a bit toxic.
Yep.
There looks to be a bit of pace in this race.
I think that suits him.
Yeah, I think that suits him. And the other two horses that I reckon it suits, and I've got no idea what price they are.
Well,
but they're at decent odds.
Let me know.
Number 5, Vow and Declare, and number 6, Serpentine. The Serpent coming back like Salazar Slytherin from 3,200 metres to 2,000 metres. Bro's going to be rock hard fit. And the last time we saw him over 2,000 metres, he's just tough.
No, we've seen him twice at 2,000 metres.
Yeah, exactly.
And he absolutely donkey licked them.
Yeah, because and you're looking at the race, you're like, shit, it doesn't set up for a leader. But that's what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants a tough 2,000 metres where he's getting eyeballed.
Bulldog.
Exactly. And I don't know what price he is, but he's in my numbers, Serpentine.
20-1.
Silly price.
Vow and Declare 15-1.
Both in my numbers. Vow and Declare is not a 2,000 metre horse. However, we have seen him run really well in 2,000 metre races, i.e. the Aussie Cup, when the pace is on up front. And they're not going to go Pride of Jenny quick or Deny Knowledge quick up front here, but I think they're going to set up the race for someone like him to run really well over 2,000 metres. He absolutely would not shock. Look, my jaw would be on the floor if he won, but I'd be like, told you so.
8 weeks between runs is the concern.
It is a concern. And Serpentine coming back from 3,200 metres, I'd say that's unorthodox.
Yeah, but the thing is with those stables, right, there's nothing like match fitness, as I always say.
No.
But you can guarantee that Waterhouse Bot would have Serpentine rock hard fit. The barrier does not really matter for him.
No.
He might spend a few gas tickets early. That's your one little concern.
I think he will be if he's going to win, it's going to be by less than a head.
Yeah. Heart in your mouth stuff.
100%. But I think he's going to be hard to run over.
He's better than a 20-1 shot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just think I'm leaning towards the fitter horse that I've been wanting to see over 2,000 metres basically since the Queensland Derby last year. We've been saying it to nauseum, but this is Kovalica's time. So I have him on top. I cannot ignore Numerian. That first up run, it was sensational. Good, yeah. But him back on dry ground, others better suited. Like, he was sensational last start, and he typically does win a race during this winter carnival as well. So Numerian in for second, Serpentine in for third, absolutely. And then Faulkner Park, the other Nisham runner, I think the alternative form line, this one could be the one. The key to him is a good ground. And I think he won the Wagga Cup quite well. Came from nowhere.
Amakura to run out the top 4 for mine. I think she's a mare with some ability. Will flash home here and look like a much better bet in the Q22.
Yeah, I think so. Blinker's first time. They're probably experimenting there, heading towards the quick Q22, I'd say.
Lightly raced, less than 10 starts for her. So, I'd rather back her without knowing what the ceiling is,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, let's get on to some other highlights on this program. I think race 4 is where we start. The Bill Carter Stakes, 1,200 metre listed race for the 2-year-old fillies. I have a bit of a crush on number 1 poster girl here.
Tell me more.
Well, I did tip her out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but she still hasn't been seen. That trial at Doomben was sensational, but she rocketed home against the likes of Storm Boy at the Gold Coast. So I'm just keen to see how she resumes. I think she could be a filly that is heading towards a JJ this prep. So she resumes at 1,200 metres. You'll assume that she'll get over the 1,600 in about 4 weeks' time. The other one who I think I'd be shocked if you didn't find was for Anthony Sam Friedman with Mark Zara on, is not surprised in the Shoal Silks, in the Giga Kick Silks. Absolutely brained him on the Sunshine Coast Poly. Looks like the 1,200 metres will not be a problem.
100%, yeah. Look, I think you've found them well there. Geez, it's hard to go past number 4, Clean Energy, though.
Yeah.
In the Gross Silks, full sister to Sunlight, Clean Energy, very well named. You know where she's going to be in the running. She's drawn well, and she was phenomenal on debut. Like
$2.25.
It's short.
It is very short.
It's short. But I wouldn't want to back against her.
Yeah,
to be honest, I think she's just a cut above. So Clean Energy on top for me, but yeah, maybe I have a little speck on the Shoal Silks.
Well, $9 for Poster Girl and 16s for Not Surprised. So that could be worth something, a little something, you know. Now, race 6 on the program is the 4X Chief De Beers. Love that 4X have jumped on the sponsorship. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? The 1110 metres contest listed open handicap. Now, I had 3 horses written down that I wanted to talk to you about. I think they're the 3 winning chances.
Yep, go on.
Spacewalk, Duel, Shooting for Gold.
Yep. Yeah, they're the 3 I was looking at as well. Was the last time we saw Duel Caulfield Cup Day? Is that the last time we've seen him?
Or was
it a different day?
Yeah, Caulfield Spring Group 2, where he beat Spacewalk, and he was on level weights with him that day.
That's right. So finds him at better weights. Any idea why there's been such a long layoff?
I haven't heard anything, so I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Because I wonder if they're sort of looking at him as a potential Stradbroke horse.
Potentially $6 a field this race.
Yeah, just looking at that. Blake Shinnon, Duel, trained by Annabelle Neesham now. Has that always been a thing?
Yeah, because he was with someone else. Can't remember who.
Was he with the Price Kent stable?
Maybe, but he is probably in here. Annabelle and Sam Freeman. Anthony and Sam Freeman.
Right, yeah.
Changed to Annabelle Neesham before the last prep.
Gotcha.
So he's run 3rd for Annabelle and won that Group 2. And that was the race where they were interviewing Mytho like the day of or the day after, going like, Annabelle was nearly going to race him in a benchmark 90 in Sydney. But she's like, this field's come up pretty thin. And then they got a Group 2 win out of him as a colt. So, she's clearly pulled the right rein there. And I don't know, how long is this let off? Like 30 weeks is a bit of a concern, but
especially for a colt, like sometimes they can take a little while to
uninterested maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. So you're taking $7 to find out though.
Yes. Spacewalk, you know, he can fly. He's a little bit unreliable though.
He is, but he's been more consistent over the last 12 months. Like he's only missed the top 3 once and he ran 4th at Eagle Farm. So I think you can, at $6, he's definitely a winning chance. And J-Mac he's never been out of the Quinella out of 4 rides. So I think Spacewalk's definitely a winning chance. Barrier 18, am I that enthused? Maybe get the best out of him because he's like in his own air and he can't really get into any trouble. I don't know. At Doomben, it's probably not the place to be.
No.
Shooting for Gold's the other one. Flies first up, has some pretty elite form in like King of Sparta and those types of horses. And he's just a kind of a winning machine, this horse. Although he hasn't nearly won in about 2 years.
Yeah.
But Doomben specialist as well, but we've probably seen the best of him, but he is one that I can entertain after some decent trials. Now, the Drinkwise Mile, 1,600 metres, Group 3 for the fillies and mares is race 7, set weights and penalties. I had Foxy Frida, Osmos, and I think they were pretty much my chances in this race.
Yeah, Foxy Frida can definitely bounce back. She wasn't great down at Morpheville. One who I actually don't mind at odds, and I've oddly enough mentioned her just before, is number 1, Deny Knowledge. So last start, she just got sort of run over 2,000 metres, went way too quick up front. She actually went really fast the start before that in the Mornington Cup, over 2,400 metres, and took them a while to run her down. That was the Esty Fenny race, lol. Back to a mile here, which is interesting, but she draws Marble 1 with Mark Zahra on, and maybe he's just going to get some cheap, easy sectionals on her, and she's about $13. So if I was going to have a bet on the race, it'd be on her. But yeah, there's a reason why she's double figures.
Quick backup, was beaten 20 lengths last weekend, but soft ground was not to her liking. So
No, it was not. And I like her on the quick backup. staying at the mile. It's funny. What's interesting about her is her racing style, right? Like just fly up front, just like Pride of Jenny. You've got the same bloody sire.
Oh, really?
Fascinating.
Yeah, there you go.
Same sire as Bella Nipotina. There you go.
Fascinating. Osmos she's a mare that has found some form. Now you can basically put a line through her last start, heavy run in the Hollandale, but back on good ground here. She's been racing really, really nicely this prep, and she's definitely not one of mine, but I think she can win here back to a mare's grade, I think. So Osmos on top, and you're getting a decent price. You're getting $9 for her. I think that's overs. Now, the Roses, 2,000 metres, Group 2 for the fillies, set weights. Fireburn won this last year.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Molly Bloom and is Craig's horse here? Scarlet Oak.
Scarlet Oak, yes.
Fascinating.
It is. They were going to tip her out after her last win, but she won so well and came out of it so well that they're like, well, we have to crack on with her. You know what I mean? This is her first prep.
Yeah.
So interesting to see what they do, even if she wins here, whether she'll actually end up in the Oaks. But I'm happy to back her again. Yep. Like if she takes as much improvement as she did in her last start into this, then she can definitely win. I do admit that Molly Bloom looks like a bit of a smarty though, and Amazonian Lass was fantastic last start. So and she's $9 as opposed to Molly Bloom is half the price. So yeah, Toodle Avita was put up for sale and sold, I think, to maybe Coolmore. I'm not 100% sure.
Resolute Racing.
I think that's the American guy who was going to buy Winks' daughter.
Right. Is that who won the JJ for Snowden?
She's a belter.
Yeah.
Is it
similar? I don't know.
Okay.
No, I have no idea.
I've got no idea.
Okay.
So yeah, not a straightforward race, but I'm happy to be with Scarlet Oak. She like I said to you last time, she's a little smarty.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because they've probably the two best jockeys in Australia right next to each other, Blake Shin and J-Mac, with full due respect to Nash. And they've also drawn beside each other. So they're going to know exactly where they are. I'm probably team Scarlet Oak. She was just shown a little bit more brilliance, and she's only been at the track 3 times, but Molly Bloom probably heading towards an Oaks, I'd say. Second prep.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Scarlet Oak. Even if she wins this and goes into the Oaks, like it might come a bit too soon. If she wins this and wins the Oaks, well, great, fantastic, because sometimes Queensland Oaks winners can well and truly go on with it. A la Winks, a la Jewess. Not so much Gypsy Goddess, but because her only run post the Oaks win was a bloody third in the Golden Eagle, which is unbelievable.
Behind Drifters, I Wish I Win and Fangirl.
And she ain't a 1,500 metre horse. Tell you how much for free about Gypsy.
That's the best edition of the Golden Eagle that you'd ever hope to see.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
yep.
You know who ran fourth there?
No, not sure.
Who's the mare? Hope in Your Heart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at like 90 to 1.
Shit.
Fourth or fifth. Don't check me. Anyway. Now, the Team Red BRC Sprint. 1,350 metres, Group 3, open handicap. Cepheus is one of yours. The Inevitable. What a field we got here.
Oh, it's a smart little field.
Some oldies, but some newies with Yellow Brick. Where'd you land?
I was tossing up between Yellow Brick and an emergency, number 18, Freedom Rally.
Yeah.
Freedom Rally out of the Golan Yard. Remember he rocked up to Sydney. Let me just check the form real quick. Yeah, so he was spanking him up here, and Tony Golan took him down to Sydney. He started as a $2 favourite and he failed. And that was the Chawton Lane race. Over 1,400 metres, so maybe just didn't travel well. He was up for a while, so that was only his fourth run. I don't know. Anyway, so he's but he's a super consistent horse. Like if you look at his profile, he won over a mile in a benchmark 90, spelled, comes back on a heavy 10, runs third, 2 Yellow Brick and at Wits End last start. But gee whiz, he was coming home really nicely. Freedom Rally, and it's really annoying that Racing doesn't have the prices on. I was hoping you get a better price for him than compared to Yellow Brick, but the bookies aren't stupid, so they obviously saw how well he finished off. But they're the two for me. The other one, which I wouldn't mind seeing, because he's fucking enormous. Like he's like Yulong Turbo-esque in his size. That's number 9, Namazu, the Archer winner. What's he done wrong?
Oh, no, nothing.
Like, this is harder. He's 34 to 1.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him win because he's actually so big.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking through his profile. He's won over 1,300, 1,500, 1,600, 1,800, 2,000, 2,100.
He was a Godolphin horse.
Versatile.
Yeah. So
Was he?
yeah, he was a Godolphin horse.
There you go. I don't remember that.
But yeah, Namazu, like at a big price, wouldn't go astray because he's so big.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? How do you see it?
I was leaning towards Yellow Brick. I thought that was a sensational return, and I think he's looking cherry ripe. You know who would not surprise is Straight Acer. Like, he'd pop his head up.
Yeah, when everyone jumps off.
Need to see it, I think. But yeah, I was towards Yellow Brick, but I also had Freedom Rally in my numbers. But yeah, it's a fascinating little contest, this one. Nice way to, if you land the winner, you're going to be richly rewarded, I feel.
Yeah, well, looking at the quaddie legs, like you've got $5 a field in that. You got a $3.30 favourite in the Doomben Cup. You got a $3 odd favourite in the Roses, and then the first leg of the quaddie is $4 the field. So I think there's a bit of value there if you want to take on the favourites. If you're going to do a quaddie, do it with Neds, obviously. Might have to partake this weekend.
Okay.
Little Brisbane quad.
Well,
little Brisbane quad bike.
My arm doesn't need twisting.
No.
Kingsford Smith is next weekend, 1,300 metres at Eagle Farm. J-Mac's going to be in Japan riding on Romantic Warrior, so you'd assume that Nolan gets the ride again.
You'd think so, yeah. It doesn't make any sense for him not to.
Jamie Carr, maybe. She rides for Moody Coleman.
She does a lot.
Like I just call it how I see it.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the same conversation we had around Daniel Sackhouse losing the ride on Benedetta. And if you can get Jamie, you get Jamie.
Of course you do.
If you get J-Mac, you get J-Mac. That's what you do.
Of course you do.
And I know Peter Moody likes money. King Smith isn't worth pennies.
Especially when he's in the ownership, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially.
Yeah, so who else is going to be in that race? Antino?
Kingsford Smith. Let me get the thing up. Futures markets. Kingsford Smith. I wish I win 420. Magic Time 5s. Think About It 5s. Bell and Nips 9s. Antino 10s. Espiona 10s. Learning to Fly 11s. She'll probably get scratched after she accepts. Private Eye 13s. In Secret $15. Can we get an In Secret update? What is happening with that horse?
Don't know. No idea.
No idea. Tuvalu 17s. Amenable 21s. I do have an Amenable update. But yeah,
that's a genuine Group 1 field.
That is a good field, isn't it? Shoe. Amenable. I don't think Amenable is heading to the Kingsford Smith, so there you go. Seems to run best fresh, so 5 days in the paddock and then straight to the Stradbroke. So it's going to be 5 weeks between runs, basically.
Geez, he ran well with 60-odd kilos, didn't he?
Didn't he?
Stradbroke's shaping up to be a phenomenal race, as it does every year, but really, with the weights, it's going to be really even. There's a bunch of chances.
Well, I can have a look at that. Stradbroke weights. Don't know if they're in yet.
Well, what would Amenable get? 53, maybe?
Oh, that's like, I want to think about to have 54 last year. You'd feel like he'd have to have like 52.
Really? Do you only have 54? Think about it.
I think so.
Shit.
54 and a half?
Yeah. Well, that's what Antino would get, you'd think. Probably something a little bit less than that.
Yeah. I don't think the weights are out yet, but.
No, it's okay. They're probably waiting for the KSD and the whatever. Gee whiz.
Sorry, mate. Am I boring you or something?
Oh, it's just, just got to get through Doomben and get to the farm.
It is much better, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. No, we can't pull the pants down of other states and not be self-reflective and
Of course
self-critical of our own.
It's not our jam.
Yeah, it's not our jam. But I'll most likely be out at the track this weekend. Drifters. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, have fun, mate, because I'll be up at the Sunshine Coast just making sure everything's in order up there. I'll be tuning into the Doomben Cup, the Group 1 that it is.
Whereabouts on the sunny coast are you going to be again?
Maroochydore.
Okay, that's right. I was about to say you could rock up to the greatest place on earth and
Not quite.
yeah.
I'll check out I haven't been to the Maroochy Surf Club in yonks. So,
I don't think I've ever been. Well, if I did, it would have been before being able to drink beers.
So yeah. So I'll be sending through an update on what that situation looks like.
Okay. Yeah, can't wait to see that. Yeah, I feel like the Noosa Surf Club deserves a little bit of a touch up.
Yeah.
I feel like we're due.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in the spring.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
And there's that one at Burleigh that we need to check out.
There,
as
that
well.
is, yeah, definitely.
That's on the list.
This looks phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't know.
Absolutely phenomenal.
I don't know if the Drifters play their cards right, they could get an invite. But maybe.
Yeah.
Well, we have some hats coming, so maybe it's an exclusive invite for anyone that gets a hat.
En route.
They are.
Literally.
They're on a boat.
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to get here in time before I head away. So that'll be interesting. But they'll be here for the spring.
Yeah, it's all right. No stress. Yeah. It's not going to change our lives.
No. Might change theirs.
Oh, I'd imagine it would. Yeah, definitely.
Like protects you from the sun.
Yeah, and also never look better.
Yeah.
Give them the confidence. Yeah, give them the confidence to
Feel good.
back some winners.
Feel good, punk good,
Yeah, exactly.
but responsibly.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it.
See you, Drifters.
Goodbye.